Welcome back to Hannity. This is a Fox News alert. Explosive news tonight regarding the former Attorney General Loretta Lynch. The Senate Judiciary Committee has opened now an investigation, a probe into allegations of interference by Lynch into the FBI's investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server. And by the way, to add to the last segment before we move on, Hillary Clinton tweeted earlier tonight, quote, "Forget death panels. If Republicans pass this bill, they are the death party." Joining us now with reaction, the Chief Counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice, also an attorney for the president, Jay Sekulow, is with us. You know, hey, I've been saying that this is all going to boomerang back. No evidence by anybody of any Russia collusion, 11 months of media lying and conspiracy theories. But it did open up the door that, okay, now we got to look at Loretta. Now we got to look at Hillary. And I would argue Hillary is going to be right behind Loretta Lynch in terms of investigation issues. Thoughts?
Look, we said this a year ago, that this was a significant event, that whole incident at the tarmac with the then Attorney General of the United States and the former President Bill Clinton on the weekend that his wife was being interviewed by the FBI, by the way, not under oath, for issues involving the elimination and mishandling of classified information. The so-called email scandal was much more than an email scandal. It was an illegal enterprise that was going on. But now you've got the Senate Intelligence Committee saying we want answers to questions. And one of those questions, or a series of those questions, focus in on a very, very significant development. And that is, were there memorandums or statements made by the Attorney General to members of the Democratic National Committee stating this: we will not let this investigation of Hillary Clinton go too far. Those assurances have been made. If that proves to be true, and there is a lot of evidence starting to swirl, and now both, by the way, Republicans and Democrats have signed this letter saying they want answers to these questions. This is how an investigation starts. It needs to, and it goes a step further than that, Sean. There's a lot more at play here than just this.
Let me ask one last question. I have been saying that Robert Mueller needs to recuse himself and get out. And he's also hired Hillary Clinton's lawyer and Obama and Clinton donors and Rosenstein's relationship and all this. But here's my question. The president spoke out in his interview with Ainsley this morning, and she's going to join us later in the program. He even sees this as bothersome. Listen to what the president says.
He's very, very good friends with Comey, which is very bothersome. So we'll have to see. I can say that the people that have been hired are all Hillary Clinton supporters. Some of them worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous, if you want to know the truth from that standpoint.
This is the most extreme conflict of interest. This is the biggest case of investigative mission creep, if you will, I've ever seen in my life. It is a witch hunt, but yet it keeps going on. And the people that should be investigated, Hillary and Loretta Lynch, we're only just beginning that.
Well, and let me just, first of all, what the president said was absolutely correct. I mean, he said it exactly right. Sure. I mean, you've got this whole, I mean, if the witness is the friend of the prosecutor, how does that all play out? Well, it's not supposed to play out that way. That's number one. Number two, and let me be really direct on this, this leaking of information that is continuing to happen, that is where the most significant issue is here. Why are we okay with leaks coming out of whether it's the Department of Justice, whether it's the State Department, whether it's even the House and Senate Intel committees on information like this? Why is that okay? So I'll tell you what the special counsel needs to do. They need to look and make sure these leaks stop immediately. They have no choice.
Loretta Lynch
an obligation.
Needs to be investigated, and if there's wrongdoing, prosecuted. Hillary Clinton, we know, committed felonies. And I'll tell you what else. This deep state selective leaking to hurt and destroy your president must be cleaned up if this country is going to move forward and the election results, a duly elected president is able to do his job. That, to me, is number one.
That is the
deep state is that
primary
dangerous.
task that has to happen now is that those that are engaged in this activities inside the government, what I call the unelected bureaucrats, the fourth branch of government, that has to be put to a stop now.
Absolutely.
There's no time to waste on that. That's just not the way the Constitution works.
I want Hillary prosecuted because she committed felonies. That's just a fact. And if we deny that, then there's not equal justice under the law. Jay, thank you.